Hello, hello. We've got the giant Gila monster. So this is clearly another one of those trends of the 50s type movies where you just take a thing and you make it big, and that's your horrifying creature. So they did that with the Deadly Mantis, which we did already. Now they're doing it with the Gila monster, which if you're not familiar with what that is, it's a reptile that lives in the southern US, Mexico, that kind of deserty area. Anyway, not the most ferocious things in the world. I believe they're venomous, though. I think, if I'm wrong, I am dumb, but I think that they're venomous. They're one of the few lizards that have venom, or maybe it's like a bacteria in their mouth or something that acts basically like a venom. But anyway, that doesn't come into play into this movie at all, so I don't even know why I spit out that fact, or not fact if I'm wrong. So let's get into it. You know the drill. Spoiler alert. Going to be talking about the movie, events from the movie, things that happen, and the climax ending thing of the film. So you have been warned. If you haven't seen this film from 1959, which is like, I mean, maybe you haven't actually. Anyone born from my age on probably hasn't seen this unless they're into these kind of old movies, so fair enough. Anyway, spoiler alert has been issued. You've been warned. Let us progress. So we have the classic 50s voiceover at the very beginning. Something about this area of land where no man has been, and it's unspoiled by nature, and it sets it up for okay, this is where the creature is. I'm not doing it justice, but in some of these old movies, they have these like, deep in the woods of whatever county lives a beast so terrifying, so horrific that only God could, whatever, something like that. It has something like that right at the beginning, so that sets the mood. This is black and white, by the way. Obviously, it's late 50s, so I don't even know when color came out, but they were still doing black and white for the majority of things. I don't know what kind of budget this had either, so I'm assuming a very small one, considering yeah. Anyway, so we have this scene where there's this dance party, I guess you'd call it. It's like a sock hop or whatever, in like a diner. So like, people are getting sody pop, but they're dancing by the jukebox, whatever. And some old guy comes in, and this guy's name is Harris. And one of the kids, who's excuse me, one of the kids whose name is Chase, and his girlfriend Lisa are there, and Chase wants to buy this old man's car for whatever reason. So he's offering him money for it, blah blah. This really doesn't play into the rest of the movie at all, so I don't even know why I'm explaining it actually. It's basically just a setup of your main characters. So you got Old Man Harris, who's kind of like a, not grouchy old guy, he's a bit of a drunk though. As you'll see, he like drinks and drives and all that kind of stuff, and he's just kind of like the old man Jenkins type character, but he's Old Man Harris in this. Then we've got Chase, who's our hero. He's almost more of a cop than the cops are, which you'll find out what I'm talking about later. He's a mechanic. He has his girlfriend Lisa, who is from France, on like a program or something, sponsorship, I should say. So they're the dynamic couple of this. Then we're introduced at one point, or shortly after this, we're introduced to the Gila monster, which ends up taking down these two kids in their car who are on the way to meet Chase and Lisa and all their buddies at the drive-in, which, for the record, bring drive-ins back, man. Those were cool. I think the last one I was at, I don't know when the one here in my city closed, but I definitely went in the late 80s or early 90s to the drive-in. It was always a good time. You put a little speaker on the window and sit in your car. I don't know. It's cool. It's an experience. Bring it back, damn it. Even if it's like a couple of times a year, it would just be a cool little thing to do. I don't know. Maybe they still exist elsewhere. That doesn't matter at all to the story. So anyway, these two kids, what were their names? Liz and Pat. There we go. So they get attacked by the Gila monster. Basically, it knocks their car off the road and obviously it eats them because their bodies are never found. So there's this huge thing. Pat's dad goes into the sheriff's department and is talking to the sheriff. He's like, yeah, my kid didn't come home last night. And the sheriff, first thing he says is, oh yeah, did he and his girlfriend go get hitched? And he's like, what? Like, why would you even suggest that? But he's like, I don't know, maybe they did. And so that's kind of like a thing that they're thinking maybe happened. Or either way, Pat's dad is kind of upset, rightfully so. His son is gone. So, get to it, sheriff. Sheriff says, okay, we're gonna do our best we'll look in the area, we'll figure it out, and we'll get back to you. But he's almost like, I don't want to say he's like treating it like it's not a huge deal, but he seems irritated that he has to do something a little bit throughout this movie, so that's fun. Anyway, they find the car at some point. So how it works is Chase has like a phone linked up to the sheriff's office. So he's the local mechanic / tow truck driver. So essentially when the cops get a call, he gets the call too and he can listen in on it, which is interesting. But anyway, they found a car wreck and he's going to go bring his tow truck down and make some money off it, Small town, I guess that's what you got to do, right? But I don't know if tapping into the police lines is a thing, but sheriff doesn't seem too concerned about it when they're at the site. He's like, oh, did you, hear it over the line? He's like, yeah. He's like, oh, I thought that was you picking up. I heard a click or something like that. So sheriff doesn't give a shit, obviously. Security is not something that this town's police department is concerned about in the slightest. So anyway, they check out the crash. Now, I don't know if this is supposed to be... I think it is Pat's car, yeah. So there's no sign of bodies. There's blood in it. But no bodies. They're looking around. They can't find anything. So they wrap it up, essentially, and call it a day. There's another attack where the Gila monster... Oh, by the way, any of the scenes with the Gila monster in it actually attacking vehicles, the scenes are like literally 3 seconds or less. Like I don't know if it costs a lot to rent one of these creatures for the scene, but I mean the miniatures were fine enough. It's miniatures, but like it must be an expensive creature to rent and film because they do not show it in the scenes where it's supposed to be attacking. They don't show it. Either that, or it's because you can't train a friggin' lizard, right? Lizards, you say, okay, attack that car. It's gonna look at you like, no. What's in it for me, man? Give me like a fly or a mouse or something. I don't know what they eat. Anyway, whatever. Neither here or there. So there's this ongoing thing. It attacks another truck. This one is a guy that had earlier brought... Okay, so I don't know what this guy does for a living, because initially he had a truckload full of nitroglycerin that he dropped off at Chase's shop, which again, he's like the center of the town, I guess. Just... He's freaking out. He wasn't securing it properly. So Chase is like, oh my god, you could have like blown up. Here, let's put it in the shed. So that's fine. They do that. Anyway, it's the same guy, I believe, in this truck. This time he has like a gas tanker or an oil tanker or something like that. Gila monster hits it. Boom, it explodes. And they're sent to investigate it again, which they do. And they don't find a body anywhere. No body at all. So like, okay, that's 2 wrecks at this point. Oh, there was another wreck too, I forgot to mention. Again, it's kind of trivial, essentially, to the story. Well, maybe not. So, there's a drunk driver guy who's not Old Man Harris who crashes into, like, a ditch, and Chase is driving right behind him, so he stops and gives him a tow, and the guy's, like, plastered out of his head, takes him back to the shop, and then there's a really awkward scene of him banging out the wheel well or wheel rim or whatever and like singing something, and it like sits on it for a little bit longer than it should for not being a musical. You know what I mean? Like it's almost a full number that they're having this guy sing. It's like, okay, well, that's neat. Anyway, the guy wakes up and he's like, oh, where am I? He doesn't remember anything. He was blackout drunk, clearly, so perfect condition to drive. Don't drive drunk. Anyway, he comes in there and he wants to thank the guy, and it shows a difference in the value of the dollar, because in 1959, Chase asked for $2 for the tow, or for the work, and free for the tow because he was going to his shop anyway, he says. And the guy's like, okay, well, what about the tow? No, it's free. I was heading here already. And the guy's like, okay, listen, you helped me out here. I want to do something nice for you. Here's my card. If you're ever in the city, look me up. He's like, okay, cool, thanks. He's like, here you go. Have this. And the guy leaves, and then he looks down, and he's like, oh my god, 220s? $40? Oh my god! Like, he can retire on that, apparently. No, so, I mean, back then, $40 was obviously a huge deal. Whereas today, what can you buy for $40? Probably a copy of this DVD. And maybe some batteries for the remote, and that's about it. So that's the difference that makes back then. Anyway, that's just kind of interesting. That's one thing I like about these period pieces, is just seeing how things have changed so much. But anyway, let's get back into it. So he looks down at the car, and it turns out that this guy's a DJ from the big city, like one of the radio station's local legends or something like that. So he's like, oh my god, this is so-and-so, whatever. Anyway, there's going to be a what do you call it, a sock hop or whatever? Is that what they called them back in the 50s? A dance party again, like sort of like what happened in the diner at the beginning, but like a much larger scale with like a venue and whatnot. And this guy's going to be DJing it apparently, so that's fun. Then there's a whole side plot too of Chase's, I believe, sister. Her name's Missy. She is, I don't know what happened to her, but she has like busted up legs and whatnot, and so she's learning to walk, and Chase comes home and checks in on his mom and sister, and he sees Lisa sitting there. Apparently Lisa had spent all of her own money to buy this girl leg braces, which was apparently super expensive, which, I mean, anything medical kind of is, especially in the States, actually. I'm thinking about it. Okay. Yeah, so that was like really sweet of her, and he's like, wow, you didn't have to do that. That was really good. Anyway, he sings this song again for his little sister, and it is, again, goes on a little bit too long. And by the time the second song hits, I'm thinking to myself, like, is this a musical? I mean, there's only been 2 songs so far, and then I looked at it halfway through the movie, and I went, no, I guess it's just this character is a sing-song kind of guy, and they, I guess, liked his voice, so they gave him some pretty fleshed out scenes of him singing. Anyway, later they go to, he gets his crew together on the sheriff's request. Again, the sheriff, I guess he's literally the only person in the area that has any kind of know-how of policing or whatever. So he basically, again, he invests in Chase to like be his little deputy without being his deputy. So he basically gets Chase and his buddies to look down the highway to see if they can find Pat and Liz, because they're still missing, right? Like, it's been a couple days now. It's like officially, you know, a missing persons type deal. The whole time the father's being upset too. Anyway, his friends are going down the road. They can't find anything. Okay, let's go down this ravine. Let's check the ravine here. It's another like 2 miles or something or whatever it is down the ravine. So they go down and they look, and they see broken brush that looks like an animal dragged something through there, and they're like, oh, that's strange. Maybe it's like a mountain lion or something. Apparently there are some in the area or whatever, so that could be. And they stop at the little river there, and they're about to, I guess, rest for a second, and all of a sudden you hear his buddy up at the top blaring his horn again. I guess they found something. Anyway, they didn't, so they don't find anything, essentially, and there's another scene where apparently Chase had taken the tires off of the car and put them on his hot rod, which he's been working on throughout the movie too, and the sheriff doesn't seem concerned about this at all. So again, the sheriff just like, if you're not upholding like the law, what do you do? Like, actually, you know, you're annoyed to do a missing person thing. You employ these kids to do all the dirty work for you. You let them get away with basically stealing tires off of a car that is part of a active investigation, like not a crime scene, but. And he tows the vehicle, and the dad's flipping out. He's like, you didn't even investigate the area before he towed it? What the hell? And valid point. Like, I don't know. He's like the worst sheriff in the world. Let's just put it there. Seems like a nice enough guy, but he's not very efficient at his job, let's just say. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked again, so it doesn't matter. Anyway, Pat's dad arguably is annoyed with this and is calling him out on this. And he's like, listen, you know what? This kid is getting too involved and I'm going to have his ass. I'm going to go to the troopers or whatever. And so state troopers, I guess. And it's a whole thing. Anyway, cut to this sock hop in the, I guess it's the community center or whatever. And they're all dancing away. And this like big time city radio DJ celebrity guy is there spinning records on like a little portable turntable. I mean, I guess that's what they did back then. I have no freaking idea, in all honesty. I clearly wasn't born until, like, more than 20 years after this, so I don't know. Anyway, that's going on, and then the DJ stops everything. He's like, hey, listen, I got a new record that we just pressed in the big city, and I want to play it for you guys. I want you guys to tell me what you think. And they're like, okay. And they play it, and it's a song. It's just whatever. And then he stops it halfway, and everyone's all annoyed. Like, why the hell did you stop it? We were, like, hopping with our socks. Or whatever sock hop people do. I hope I'm using that term correctly. If I'm not, I don't know. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Anyways, like, yeah, I'll tell you what. I'll give everyone a free ride on my elephant in Thailand if you can guess who the artist is. But you have to make it there yourself. And so obviously he's full of crap. Nowadays you could sue for that and say he's liable for not saying that it's not true, which is hilarious. But anyway, so they play the rest of the song, and then the song ends. What'd you guys think? Oh, it's great. Yeah, it's the best thing ever, or whatever, you know. Can anyone guess who it is? And someone's like, Elvis, the Everly Brothers, and someone mentioned some woman's name. I don't know the artist, but everyone laughs like it's ridiculous, so clearly. It's clearly a man's voice. Anyway, Lisa, all excited in her little cute French accent, is like, I know who it is. And it's like, it's Chase. And it's like, well, there you go. So that's why he's been singing all movie. Apparently has aspirations to be a musician, so he's got his thing and everyone loves his music. And he's about to sing, he's going to sing a little song on a ukulele. So the song he sang for his sister was on the ukulele, and he was going to do that for the group. And he starts singing, and I'm thinking to myself, like, am I going to listen to like the fourth full song in this? No. Thankfully, the Gila monster has snuck up through the parking lot and decided to smash his cute little nose through the side of the building. I say cute little nose because it's literally just a little Gila monster guy, but I mean it's massive because of the miniatures, but whatever. Anyway, they're still cute. I don't care. So he smashes his little snoot through the wall there, and everyone's freaking out, and the sheriff like starts firing a gun at him, and it scares it off, I guess. It's not massive. Like it's massive, but it's not like a kaiju or anything. It's like I think they say it's the size of a bus or something like that. So that's still enough to be like a nuisance, I guess. Firearms clearly don't really do much. So sheriff is like, listen, I'm going to go get the state troopers. Maybe if we pump that thing full of lead, it'll die and whatever. He's like, okay, cool. So he takes off to go get the troopers. Meanwhile, Chase grabs Lisa and is like, I got a better idea. And lo and behold, they go to the storage shed where he has the nitroglycerin, and they load it up, and she's insistent on helping, and he's like, listen, like, you bump it and you'll explode. And she's like, yeah, that's fine, I'll deal with it. It's like, okay, hold those. And he's the one driving over like rocky things. I don't know. Anyway, they get to the Gila monster, and it's kind of just minding its own business. I mean, yeah, it killed a couple of people, but like, I don't know. I always feel sorry for these giant things. Like even the deadly mantis, like that thing just woke up in the Arctic or the Antarctic and was expected to like live peacefully, but it's like, what the hell is ice? And it's in a city and it's hungry. It's like all it has to eat is people, which are tiny. And then they got this Gila monster, which is just a big ass animal. It's a lizard. It's a, you know, they're not the brightest creatures on Earth, and they just want to exist. They get scared. They get hungry like any animal. Anyway. So my sympathy goes out to these creatures 9 times out of 10. Anyway, he starts driving the car full speed. Oh, I forgot to mention, on the way there, they had passed a house where Missy had been staying for a sleepover with her friend, I guess. And the house had been, I guess the Gila monster like went through the house. So he's panicking like, fuck, where's Missy? That's not good. Anyway, as they're driving and they see the Gila monster, they see Missy on the ground. So obviously she got away. And then he tells Lisa to get down with her and cover her. And he's driving his hot rod right towards the Gila monster. And I guess he puts something on the gas and jumps out because the hot rod goes right for it with all the nitro in it. And boom! Gila monster's toast in a big massive explosion, and you see its body burning. It's clearly dead. Like, it is absolutely dead. And then the sheriff and his troopers show up just in the nick of time, just to be, you know, as useful as you've been for the whole rest of this movie. Yeah, and all's well that ends well, essentially. The thing's dead. He's got it. Chase has his record deal and his hot girlfriend from France, and everyone's happy. The sheriff didn't have to do anything, basically. He fired a couple of shots. Okay, to be fair, he's the one who scared it away from the convention center dance party thing. So, I'll give him that. But, like, yeah, I don't know. He was also probably the only one with a gun there, too. So, I mean, you know, I'm not going to give too much credit, but that's essentially the movie. Credits roll. Boom. We're happy. Everyone's good. Done. So, what did I think? Well, it's a movie from the late 50s. So, keep in mind, things are going to be very different. Like, the acting, for one, is always very different in these older movies. Like, it's not so tongue-in-cheek, like, what are we doing here, see? And stuff like that. Like, it's not that bad, but, I mean, it's still slightly overacted. I don't know how else to explain it. It's that 50s style of acting. You know, either know or you don't what I'm talking about, right? So, there's that. So, taking that into mind, I'm not going to rip the acting apart because that was of the era. What I will rip apart is if you're going to make a movie about a giant thing, you want to see the giant thing a little bit more, right? Like, with the Deadly Mantis, they made a mock-up of a mantis, and it looked cool, and you actually saw it destroying things and taking out airplanes, and that scene in the parkade with all the cars around it, like a little nest, like, that was awesome. That was really good. This, I mean, yeah, they probably didn't have the budget that they did for the Deadly Mantis, but they literally just took a Gila monster, and the scenes where it's attacking things are literally like 3 seconds or less. Like, I'm not even joking to you. Probably less than that. There's a scene where it derails a train. I forgot to mention that, but yeah, it derails a train, and Harris sees that, and he reports it, but he's drunk, so he gets locked up. But, I mean, it doesn't really do anything with the story. But anyway, the scene with the Gila monster actually walking up to the derailed train, literally like 1, 2, next scene. So, I don't know. Like, again, yeah, you can't really train a lizard, but if it was already going to the train, at least, like, show it, like, climbing on it or something. Extend that scene, like, 3 or 4 more seconds, even if it's just sitting in front of it, flicking its tongue out. I don't know. So, maybe I watched, like, a bad cut of it or something. I watched it on Shudder, so maybe that's not the full cut. I don't know. But anyway, that's what they could have done to improve it. Show the Gila monster more. Show it interacting with things more. When it was going through the parking lot at the dance hall thing, or whatever it was, just before its little snoot went through the wall, like, it had the miniature cars, and even its leg hit one, and they added, like, a crunch sound as the car moved to make it sound like it's big, and the car is a real-size car, and, like, that was cool. Totally into that stuff. Like, even just have it wandering around more things to make the scale of it more apparent. Because a lot of the scenes with it in there's just, like, sand and plant life around it, so you can't really tell the scale too well. I mean, yeah, they zoom in right on his little face there and everything to make it look, oh my god, he must be huge because it's really close up, but I don't know. They probably worked with what they had, so I'm going on too long about that. So yeah, acting, showing the creature, special effects, you know, the miniatures and that were fine. That was good. The explosion of that one truck was okay. The train derailing thing, that was fine. The story was very, very basic. I mean, it's a giant thing that just happens in a small town. Seen 1,000 movies with that in it. So, I mean, it's not anything revolutionary. A little side story about the mechanic guy who's basically the town hero, and the one guy doesn't like him, and the sheriff sticks up for him. It also makes him do everything for him. And his little music aspirations side story. I guess that's kind of new. I guess. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. There just didn't seem to be too much creativity for it. So, I mean, all in all, what else can I rate it on? The music was very, very 50s. Like, it had what is it called? Theremin? Like the type thing that you use for, like, alien ships, like, sci-fi movies of the 50s, so they used that. So that was really fun. You don't hear that in movies nowadays, that's for sure. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, again, it is what it is. What am I going to rate it? I mean, I can't be too nice to it either, because it was, I don't want to say it was like dead out boring to watch, because it was weird enough and like that it kept my attention, but like I won't watch it again, I don't think, ever. I'm going to give it like a, I don't know, threes seem okay. 3.71. 3.71. That's what I'm giving the giant Gila monster from 1959. That's all we got. What are we doing next? I don't know. I guess you'll have to come back and find out.